What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. Today, I'm going to be answering a very popular question. Why is short timers housed with lifers? Now, I was that short timer. I only had like 2 years and some change to do in my first ride in prison. I did about 11 months dead time in jail, right? I beat a bunch of charges, and the time that I was in jail for those charges, it didn't go to anything else. So I did more than 2.5 years on my first go, but when I went to prison, it was about 2 years left. So this is why short timers get housed with lifers, right? And I'm gonna tell you a personal story about this lifer that I met the very first cellmate I ever had. Most prisons, you go to a reception center and you get labeled by your points. And your points are based upon your charges and age and a few other things. But if your points are a certain level, you're going to that certain prison. Simple as that. It doesn't matter if there's lifers there or not. Now, you would think people that killed individuals would be in this maximum security prison for the rest of their days. It does not happen like that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's say you committed a murder and you went to a high-level prison for the first 10 years of your bid. You did really good, man. You didn't get no trouble, no infractions, nothing, no write-ups. What happens? Well, the majority of these lifers, after doing 10 years of good behavior in prison and following protocol and doing programs, their level drops, right? Their level drops, so they get put into this medium securities, which is the type of prisons that I was in. So you get put in a medium security, and it probably makes these guys feel good, right? It probably makes them feel like they don't have life anymore. Believe it or not, man, especially let's say you go to the hole and then you get put back into population. It almost feels like you're going home, going back to the streets, because the hole is so damn boring. Same goes for maximum security prisons, level 5, 6, whatever. It's so damn boring and controlled that when you get to a medium security, it feels like the streets again, right? Because you got all kinds of activity going on. Anyways, so that's how lifers get to these medium security prisons. They usually do good. And like the story I did yesterday about Patrick killing his cellmate that had 2.5 years left. Now, he killed a farmer as well. That's what put him in prison. But he was in prison for like 10 years and some change before he killed his cellmate. So, being in prison that long, maybe he had good record, and he was dropped to a lower security prison. That's how he probably got put into a cell with someone that had two years and some change. Now, the first cellmate I ever had was a lifer, right? And I'll never forget this dude. I did forget. His name was either Asia or China. So I'm in this prison cell for the very first time in my life. I don't know nothing about prison, and I don't know nothing about my cellmate other than he's some Asian cat, older, and he seems laid back and chill. Now, I'll never forget why he told me he was in prison. And looking back at it, this was kind of an awkward conversation. Now, it's been about a month since I've been in the cell, and like I said, he's an elderly gentleman. He's probably in his 50s, maybe 60s. That's another thing. Why are they going to put a damn 18-year-old in a cell with someone that 50, 60-year-old killer? Now that I look back, I think they were trying to trick me up. Anyways, we started getting to know each other a little more. We started blazing together, cooking together. We're really opening up now. And then one night, he decides to pull out a folder. And in this folder, it had a picture of a sword, right? A sword, like a samurai sword. And I said, man, that thing's big. And he goes on to tell me that he's doing life in prison for killing a man in the prison yard. And I'm ripped, right? I'm like, are you serious, man? I would never have thought in a million years that my cellmate was doing life for killing a man in prison, right? I ain't gonna lie, it kind of changed my views up on him just a little bit, but for the most part, it was pretty much the same still. He broke it down. He said he was a part of this Asian organization. I don't even remember the name, something Dragons. But they were definitely nowhere to be seen in the prison system anymore. He was probably the only Asian cat I've ever seen in my prison rides. And I've been twice, so that it's wild to think that my first cellie was actually the only Asian cat I ever seen in prison. Wait, there was another guy in Virginia Beach jail. He was an Asian cat. And he was huge, man. He was like 6'3". He was a giant. And he got his ass whooped. I'll never forget. I told a story about that. He got his ass whooped, and he didn't tell. He actually had like this samurai hair, and his face was so swole up that he had to cover it with the samurai hair, and he got away with it. Nobody got caught up for the fight, and he healed up and went about his business. Later on down the road, I seen the guy that beat him up in prison, and he got beat up. It's crazy how the tables turn. But, so yeah, I was in a cell with someone that killed another man in prison, doing life. And I only had less than 3 years to go. The only time I ever got worried in that cell was when I was wrestling with one of my young buck friends and I broke his TV. You don't want to break a lifer's TV. Let's put it like that. So I had to get that fixed right away. Right away. Oh, man. Luckily, it wasn't the super expensive one. You know, that would have been even worse. But Asia, China, man, if you're seeing this, which I highly doubt, he might be passed away by now, but I appreciate you giving me the rundown in the old state penitentiary, man. It means a lot. I left the cell shortly after that, and I think he was kind of heartbroken because most people that get good cellies in prison, they don't want to lose them. They want to keep them at all costs because the next guy might be worse. But, you know, I couldn't sit there. We weren't relating too well. You know, he had life. He's elderly gentleman. So I wanted to get in a cell with a young buck, friend of mine, and that's what happened. We ended up doing tattoos day and night. Now, I want to read something to you on Reddit about this question as well, and it brings a whole new perspective to it from me. The question should actually read, why are immature short-timer inmates who are much more likely to cause big problems and violence allowed to be in the same environment with lifers who are likely to have settled in, calmed down, just want to do their time and enjoy the luxuries they have built over the years? That's very true. Is that the case? Are lifers usually more laid back than short-timers? Yeah, they are. Short-timers are usually buck shit wild because they know they're about to be going home. Write me up. I don't give a damn. I'm going home. I'm going to Golden Crown in a couple weeks. That's how they think. But a lifer, if he was to get written up, it could push him back to a level 5 or 6 for the next 5 years. But this was a great viewpoint, and I always told y'all to be careful, mind your P's and Q's around lifers because they ain't got nothing to lose. And even though this guy's reply says that they do the luxuries of prison, it doesn't matter, man. You don't know what's going on through a murderer's mind. Like I told y'all, man, one of my best friends in there had life, and he would go through emotional roller coasters. There were some days where I seriously thought he was going to kill someone. He had that look in his eye, right? Like he might be killing something today. Might be me. Who knows? Shit. You know, you just can't trust no lifer if you were to ask me, man. Too damn unpredictable. But it's true. Usually they are the most laid back individuals because they've been doing so much time, you know? They've been doing so much time and they just want to live their life. That's their home. That's like you being at home and got in trouble when they put you in the bathroom for 15 years. They don't want to go to the bathroom, which is the hole. They want to do their time out, you know, and roam the house. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully that answered your question on why short-timers are housed with lifers. Hopefully you enjoyed, learned something. If you did, do not forget to hit the like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description of the video. Add me up on my second channel, Mr. Death. And as always, I salute to every last one who've been supporting me since the beginning and everybody who's just now joining the lockdown compound. Y'all be safe and stay free.